my existence took an unexpected turn during one evening that altered everything I thought I knew. Throughout my career in the entertainment industry, I'd experienced both adulation and harsh judgment from audiences. Recently, however, the negative commentary had intensified to unbearable levels. You lack authenticity. You're disconnected from the essence of your roles. You're merely performing, not genuinely believing. These criticisms, relentless and cutting, had penetrated my defenses like sharp instruments. Yet my most profound pain originated not from professional setbacks, but from losing my grandmother mere weeks earlier. She had been my foundation, my quiet pillar of support. Together we'd discuss spirituality, eternal matters, and divine purpose. Her departure left me feeling abandoned, as though an impenetrable barrier now separated me from the sacred. My days filming spiritual content became increasingly exhausting, portraying figures who embodied devotion and redemption while experiencing a terrifying hollowness within myself. Returning to my accommodations each evening, I'd lie awake staring into darkness, sleep evading me entirely. Time moved sluggishly, weighted with overwhelming thoughts. Then gradually, something extraordinary began occurring. I started experiencing visions, not ordinary dreams, but intensely vivid encounters more tangible than waking reality. These visions showed me masses in turmoil, devastated urban centers, and loved ones suddenly torn apart by mysterious forces. Throughout these images, a singular voice resonated, powerful as rolling thunder yet intimate as a whisper. Alert humanity. Time grows shorter than anyone realizes. I attempted dismissing these experiences as exhaustion-induced hallucinations. However, the conviction that something greater was unfolding intensified daily. An invisible flame seemed burning within me, demanding I seek understanding. I began abstaining from regular meals, not from religious obligation, but because eating had become impossible. One daily meal, water, and desperate, almost confrontational prayers became my routine. That particular evening, seated at my window overlooking moonlit waters, I reached my breaking point. Tears flowed uncontrollably as I simultaneously prayed and challenged the divine. What's your purpose for me? Why send these visions if I cannot comprehend them? I'm no messenger. I'm insignificant, merely an exhausted performer drowning in uncertainty. If you genuinely wish to communicate, speak plainly, because this burden exceeds my capacity. What happened next defies simple explanation. Initially, an unusual chill pervaded the room, different from mechanical cooling. This coldness didn't cause trembling, but rather complete immobilization. Then gentle illumination began spreading throughout the space, originating from no identifiable source. I turned toward my window and witnessed a figure standing there, not shadowy or illusory, but unmistakably real and living. Every instinct immediately recognized this presence, the Messiah himself. He bore no resemblance to artistic depictions or cinematic portrayals I'd studied professionally. He appeared simultaneously more human, yet completely transcendent. Something within me shattered completely. I collapsed, speechless, trembling, feeling my heart would burst. His gaze contained both intensity and gentleness, authority and compassion intertwined. His voice, clear and commanding, enveloped me. Child, I've selected you not for worthiness, but for willingness. I shall reveal 7 truths concerning my imminent return. Steel yourself, for what you witness must be shared despite potential rejection. The physical room dissolved before me, walls, furniture, moonlight all vanished. I found myself suspended in a realm neither earthly nor celestial, understanding I would witness something permanently transformative. As my surroundings disappeared, he approached, his penetrating gaze conveying the initial truth. Instantly, a scene materialized before me like watching actual events unfold. I stood within a large contemporary worship center. Sophisticated lighting, projection systems, powerful musical ensembles. People raised hands skyward, faces lifted, voices proclaiming praise. Yet I sensed chilling emptiness within. No genuine presence existed. He spoke firmly, yet sorrowfully. Observe carefully. They've mastered honoring me verbally while their hearts remain distant. They possess religious appearance while denying transformative power. They confuse spiritual activity with genuine intimacy, believing singing about me equals knowing me. The scene shifted to a traditional sanctuary with wooden seating, religious imagery, and rising incense. Here, too, people mechanically recited memorized prayers, their expressions vacant. Religious leaders discussed him, yet their eyes held no light suggesting authentic encounter. "This represents the great deception," he said, believing location attendance, word recitation, and sermon listening suffice. They've replaced relationship with routine, heart with habit, convincing themselves they know me when they've never genuinely opened their lives to me. The visions continued, showing celebrated speakers applauded by thousands, individuals skilled with language, quoting scripture, knowing theology intimately. Yet examining beyond their public presentations revealed no genuine connection with him, only emptiness, pride, approval-seeking. Then he showed me small hidden gatherings of believers. Some prayed together in modest spaces without elaborate equipment, no impressive ensembles, no staging, no programs. Yet fire blazed in their eyes, simple and authentic devotion evident. He smiled, observing them. This distinguishes those knowing teachings from those knowing me. These carry my essence wherever they journey. They possess no wealth or titles, but they have me, and that suffices. Tears streamed down my face. My entire professional career, countless hours studying sacred texts for performances, everything seemed suddenly meaningless compared to this simple truth. You can know everything about the divine and yet know nothing. Trembling, I whispered how individuals could distinguish whether they genuinely know him or merely speak about him. He answered with unforgettable intensity. Through fruit. Examine fruit, not activities, words, or numbers. Look whether hearts have bowed before me. Look whether lives demonstrate love, mercy, truth. Whoever genuinely knows me cannot remain unchanged. Transformation occurs. He placed his hand on my shoulder, his expression softening. I don't need performers. I don't need ceremonies. I don't need facades. I need hearts belonging to me. This changes everything. Congregations can overflow while hearts remain barren. The initial vision dissolved, but he looked at me with soul-piercing seriousness about another truth, subtler yet equally destructive: false security. Immediately I stood among a crowd of well-dressed individuals carrying sacred texts, wearing religious symbols, exchanging pleasantries, entering worship spaces. They appeared convinced, certain of readiness for his return, yet he made me perceive deeper. Suddenly their thoughts became visible. I'm fine. I prayed years ago. The divine understands me. No need worrying. But behind these declarations existed no transformation, as though they'd signed documents then forgotten who they'd contracted with. I watched someone return home after services, placing their Bible on a shelf where dust accumulated until next week. The remaining day consumed by entertainment programs, sports updates, superficial conversations. No prayer, no seeking, no divine intimacy. He sighed beside me. Many measure faith by worship attendance frequency, not by how deeply they love me. They consider salvation a past event rather than present living relationship. Repeating prayers guarantees nothing if hearts remain unchanged and refuse walking with me. The vision continued, showing people proudly discussing conversions years past, yet their priorities remained entirely earthbound. The contradiction was brutal. They believed themselves prepared meeting him, yet I clearly saw their hearts trapped in worldly matters. I couldn't contain my burning question about whether countless people truly lived in this deception. He gazed at me with mixed compassion and sorrow. Yes, child, many have transformed faith into habit rather than flame. They've converted the gospel into memory rather than life. They use me as accessories for feeling secure, not as their life's sovereign. Not everyone addressing me as master will enter the kingdom, but only those doing my Father's will. False security is the most insidious chain binding my people. Faith is living relationship, not distant memory. When the second vision vanished, profound silence enveloped me. He stood beside me, wordlessly conveying new direction about observing the world not with my vision but his, seeing what many refuse recognizing. Suddenly I felt lifted beyond geographical boundaries, perceiving pulsating life across every nation, the suffering, the anguish, the cries. In that immense panorama, signs emerged that I'd always considered isolated fragments. I witnessed earthquakes devastating entire cities, structures collapsing, families fleeing desperately through debris. Then flooding, sudden torrents consuming villages, rivers overwhelming banks, oceans swallowing coastlines. He spoke firmly. Many perceive these as accidents, as random natural occurrences. But I tell you, labor pains are accelerating. The earth groans, anticipating my manifestation. Yet my people remain distracted, preferring explaining everything through science or chance rather than discerning the times they're living in. The vision shifted to global governance. I observed leaders building coalitions, political maps redrawing themselves before me like puzzle pieces forming apocalyptic scenarios. They're unknowingly preparing the stage my messengers already wrote about, he told me. Yet my children, instead of watching, are sleeping. The vision grew more disturbing. I saw screens, devices, microchips, digital systems spreading everywhere. An invisible network wrapped the entire world, connecting nations, markets, individuals. I understood this very network, created to simplify life, already contained foundations for total control. This wasn't fiction or distant future. This was here now, under construction before everyone's eyes. The signs aren't hidden, he said, they're before everyone. But my children seek fireworks and don't notice I'm fulfilling my word even through natural and human processes. My heart trembled. No longer possible deluding myself that his return was distant. I saw clearly the convergence of signs happening in real time, accelerating like rivers increasing current before waterfalls. The vision changed abruptly to something so powerful that even today, closing my eyes, I relive every detail. I seemed suspended over a city where streets bustled and life flowed normally. Everything seemed ordinary until it happened. A sound unlike anything worldly, a call ripping through the atmosphere. Suddenly I witnessed some lifting upward, seized in an instant, their bodies radiating, faces displaying peace. Immediately after came screaming, cries from those remaining, streets filled with panic. A man previously holding his spouse's hand realized she'd vanished while he remained trembling. A mother screamed desperately, searching for her child who'd been playing beside her moments ago and disappeared. In that chaos, I witnessed well-known leaders, celebrated speakers, respected figures. Many remained, confused, terrified. Meanwhile, humble, forgotten faces ascended to him. An elderly widow who'd prayed silently nightly, children who'd learned trusting him with simple hearts, unknown young people who'd never appeared on stages but lived secretly with the divine. He spoke firmly. Many thinking they're ready will remain, and many seeming last will be first. Religious reputation doesn't matter. Transformed hearts matter. Not ministry, but intimacy. Not fame, but hidden faithfulness. I felt shaken to my core. Only heart truth before him remained. After that vision, he wasn't finished. Before me appeared an immense clock made of light, its hands moving unnaturally fast. He pointed to it. Time is shorter than my followers think. The window of my mercy remains open, but not forever. Prepare your hearts now. I witnessed scenes of daily life. A family at a table suddenly split, part drawn toward light, the other remaining confused and desperate. I saw spouses divided, siblings separated, friends pulled apart in an eternal instant. I realized preparation isn't collective but personal. Everyone must answer individually to divine love. Then I observed believers who kept postponing. I'll fix my life later, some said. I'll convert when I'm older, others claimed. I watched them like a spectator of already written drama. While they delayed, the celestial clock was running, and suddenly the possibility vanished. He looked at me again, eyes full of love and authority simultaneously. Many delude themselves there'll always be another chance, but I tell you they close grace's door with their own hands. Don't wait. Don't delay. Choose today whom you'll serve. Every moment could be the last. I thought the revelations had ended, but he remained beside me, his face illuminated with sweetness I hadn't yet seen. He took my hand, and instantly I found myself in places the world doesn't know. Tiny rooms, humble homes, hidden basements. I saw men and women kneeling without microphones, cameras, or stages. They were few, but they prayed with intensity, shaking the heavens. He smiled, watching them. These are my faithful remnant. They're not many, but their love still holds back judgment. They're those the world ignores, but they're the pulsating heart of my people. Thanks to them, my mercy hasn't yet withdrawn from the earth. Then he turned to me, his eyes penetrating my soul. And you, child, you've seen what I've revealed to you. Now you must choose. Will you keep everything to yourself, or will you obey? I lowered my gaze, trembling. Master, who am I? I'm just a performer. I have no credentials. I fear being misunderstood, mocked, accused of madness. His voice was like gentle thunder, impossible ignoring. I didn't choose you because you're a performer, but because you're a witness. I don't ask you to be believed by everyone, but to announce what you've seen. Some will laugh, others will accuse you, but my own will recognize my voice in your words, announce, warn, awaken. In that instant, all fear melted away. He wasn't forcing me, he was conquering me with his love. And I, with tears in my eyes, replied, "Yes, Master, I will announce even if I'm afraid. I will share what you've shown even if I'm criticized, because the love you've given me is stronger than the fear of human judgment." He nodded, satisfaction evident. Then he added words forever etched in my heart. "The king is returning. The question isn't when, but whether you're ready. Go and tell the world." The vision began dissolving. Everything around me faded. I slowly returned to my hotel room. Dawn's light filtered through the window. I realized my face was wet with tears. My hands still trembled, and within me I carried a weight that wasn't condemnation but mission. I knew many wouldn't believe me. Some would think it was suggestion, others madness. But it didn't matter. I had seen, I had heard, and I could no longer remain silent. Because the king is truly returning, and the real question isn't when but whether we'll be ready. And so, with my knees on the ground and my heart surrendered, I closed my eyes and said, "Here I am, Master. Make me a witness as long as I have breath. We appreciate you remaining with us through this entire testimony. If you've reached this point, something profound has touched your spirit. Leave a comment sharing your location so we can pray for your region. Subscribe if you haven't already, and activate notifications so you won't miss any powerful revelations we share daily. Most importantly, share this message with at least 3 people you care about, because one simple action can change a soul, reignite hope, and bring a heart back to the divine.